The Green City Startup is an initiative of the City of Joburg which encourages green entrepreneurs to develop ideas in building, energy, water, transport and waste. With more than 2 million rand in prize money, these innovators will help make the city a greener place. Our show keeps you informed about the competition, their progress and the green economy in general. This is the Green City Startup. This week on our show, artisans with a difference making beautiful jewelry, a profile on GCS 2015 finalist Gabriel Ali, mentorship tips for green entrepreneurs, and an encounter with an entrepreneur from the Venture Network on The Big Interview. Dumelang, hello and welcome to Season 2 of the Green City Startup. My name is Puna Silisho and I'll be with you for the next 30 minutes. Before we go any further, don't forget to find us on social media. You can catch us on Facebook at The Green City Startup and Twitter at The GC Startup. In order to be a truly South African organization, you have to take part in community engagement, like the Jewelry Academy, which has completely taken this up by empowering disabled in our communities. I'm keen to see what they do.
Global Jewelry Academy was set up to provide support for persons with disability, but also to those youth from disadvantaged backgrounds. We provide two components of support to persons with disability. One is skills training, funded by the Mining Qualification Authority, and the business incubation component funded by SEDA, the Small Enterprise Development Agency. They come in here, they go through a selection process, so we know exactly to place them on level 2 or level 3, because we have level 2 training, level 3 training.
I'm in level 3 now. I want to learn how to make the rings and the other things of jewelry. I like it.
Currently, I'm in level 3, but I've already registered my business and it's called TP Making It Happen.
My business name is African's Jewelry Experts. To be a president of the school, I would say it's amazing.
I do everything that is done in jewelry. That is from manufacturing, producing something from nothing to become something.
Our facilitator always helps us when we don't understand something, he helps us.
What I do, I first give them a project and they have to design it first. Then after completing designing, that's when they manufacture it.
The pieces I love to make, it's rings.
I'm making the bracelet and the ring.
I'm making brooches and I'm also making bracelets with old scents.
Gold is very expensive. You can't train a person with gold. So we give them brass or copper. In the curriculum, they have to make about 8 pieces. It depends what kind of a piece is that. Maybe it take them 2 weeks or 3 weeks. This is a Lindy West design. We first need to draw it. Then after he must make a technical drawing. Then after, that's when he manufacture the piece. Then this is the finishing piece.
Global Jewelry Academy will have not been in existence if it was not the City of Johannesburg who provide us this magnificent place.
This is our dirty room. If you want hundreds of rings, thousands of rings, this is where it all happens. After getting the knowledge of the basic, then someone can be able to produce a rubber. Then from there, they come here and do castings. We also do the polishing. I can polish your ring in less than 2 minutes, your ring will be shining as new.
When it comes to the finishing part, when it comes to buffing and polishing, I can say that's my strongest point. As no one can compete with me when it comes to that.
It doesn't take long, it takes just a few minutes and it's done. When we talk of investment in our industry, we don't talk of money. We are talking of investing our product into a quality stuff.
It makes me feel that at the end of the day, I'll leave a legacy. Because the most important thing is, in my life, have I made a difference in someone's life, like at Global Jewelry Academy?
When I'm leaving here, I'm going to make sure that I take my business up and make it grow, create more jobs for other people out there.
There's a misconception that social entrepreneurs aren't sustainable because they need to beg for funds, but as you can see, the Jewelry Academy and others alike use innovative and profitable ways to solve social problems. If you'd like to get more advice, you can read some articles on our Facebook page at The Green City Startup. Coming up next, we have our social media go-to guy, Brandon, who's ready to give us some entrepreneurial knowledge.
Hi. If you're new to the entrepreneurial game, then these tips by Business News Daily may be useful to you. And if you're not, you may want to hear them anyway. Firstly, ensure that you have the right support system in place. By surrounding yourself with like-minded people, your entrepreneurial journey will be much smoother. Remember to expect the worst. Making the jump to open your own business is the most unpredictable rollercoaster ride you can imagine. You won't be able to prepare for this, but just expect the ups and downs. Recruiting the best people may be the most essential part of growing your business. Bring in the most talented and hardworking people you can find and keep them happy. Eventually, you won't be able to do everything yourself, and your business will rely on its people. Lastly, read daily. Reading helps you to spark ideas that you can apply to your business, and it reminds you of things that have caused other businesses to fail. So grab a magazine or a newspaper or log on to your favorite online publication and get reading. So, to summarize, make sure you have the right support system in place. Always expect the worst, recruit the best people, and read daily. That's all for hints and tips, so be sure to follow us on Facebook at The Green City Startup and on Twitter at The GC Startup. Join the conversation, we'd love to hear from you. Until next time, keep focused.
To learn more about the Green City Startup and to stay up to date with all our happenings, you can visit our website at www.thegreensitystartup.co.za. We would also love to share more stories with you on social media, so do find us on Twitter at the GC Startup. We had an incredible group of participants last year in the first Green City Startup competition, and even though we would like to show you what our 8 finalists this year are getting up to, we decided to flash back to last year just to see some highlights. Here's an entrepreneur, Gabriel Ali.
Today we're in downtown Johannesburg. We're in a parking lot that is sponsored by a friend of ours. We are working with our hands on the latest fleet of Geza Josie e-trike. Since we've been sitting here, we've had about 3 or 4 trolley recyclers move by. These guys work exceptionally hard and they do a great service. And unfortunately, they aren't supported yet by government and society. These individuals, for me, are a great inspiration. They have a great entrepreneurial spirit, and they just need a leg up. We're currently working on the second version of the Geza Josie e-trike, which is very similar. We have a 500-watt motor. We have motorcycle-style disc brakes, and we still have the interesting hooter. What we have changed is we've changed the battery capacity. So we've built a compartment within the box that houses a secondary battery unit. At the moment, we're just making sure that the wiring is working, that the battery is up to scratch, and tightening the last few nuts and bolts. It's been about a year since I started working on the project, and it's fantastic to see where it's gotten to. It's not a total surprise. It's planned. I'd always wanted to be here, and it's worked out perfectly. There have been a lot of people and organizations along the way that have made this possible. I'd say probably the biggest contributors at present have come from the University of Joburg, Resolution Circle, and the City of Joburg, who through the Green City Startup connected me with some good people. What we are trying to do is to change the system that they use. And we're hoping that through this initiative, not only will we make it easier for them to transport their waste, but we're hoping that this vehicle and the transformation of these guys can become a motivating factor for households. In 2030, we are running out of landfill space, and it's our duty to reduce the amount of waste that is going to landfill, and these individuals are going to make it happen.
Still to come, we see what contestants in the GCS and other City of Joburg competitions learn from their mentors in training sessions, and Nola gives us a news update on entrepreneurial matters. Later, we have a chat with Abu on the big interview.
Do you have an idea or innovation that could improve your township? Can you identify a problem in your community that could be solved in a new and different way? This is a call for innovative entrepreneurs with ambition and commitment to accept our challenge. Josie My Beginning is an entrepreneurial competition that's coming right to your doorstep for its second round of investment. We're looking for your idea, product or service in the area of retail, micro-manufacturing, agriculture, recycling, education and skills development. 60 startups from 6 Josie townships will receive training and funding to expand their community businesses. We'll be building micro-malls, hubs where developing businesses or businesses expanding into the formal economy can grow in our communities. Enter the next round of the Josie My Beginning competition and you could change your township and your life. Josie My Beginning, building businesses in townships for townships.
Welcome back to the Green City Startup. We still have tons lined up for you right here on the greenest entrepreneurial show around. We always keep our eyes and ears open for anything cool happening in and around the City of Joburg. So do check out our social media pages that you can stay in the loop too. You can find us on Facebook at The Green City Startup. Every week, we like to get a taste of what our contestants are learning from their mentors. I used to think that being an entrepreneur just meant getting an idea, hustling, getting money, some more hustling, and starting. But it seems there's way simpler and smarter ways of doing it. I'm keen to find out just what these are. Here's Liz Dom from Inquisition with an update.
Hello, and welcome to our series on designing and growing a strong and successful business. This session follows on the Testing Your Prototype webisode. We're going to be giving you some tips and practices that will not only help you create a desirable product, but also build a strong internal foundation for your company. Let's get started. When most businesses get started, they tick off the basics. They register a company, set up a bank account, and then work begins. We'd like to introduce you to a very important component involved in creating your company's culture: business principles. Culture is everything for a small business. Even if someone else has the same idea as you do, one thing they can copy is your company culture. Culture is the reason people join and stick with companies, and it sets the tone for how work is done. So, the first thing we decide upon at the outset of starting a new business is the business's principles. An example of an important business principle might be to make decisions out in the open, which means to share as much information about decisions being made with your team as possible. A set of governing principles for how you and your co-founders intend to run your business might cover how decisions are made, how people in the company will be rewarded for their contribution to it, when and how equity will be awarded to contributors, and a definition of key responsibilities, which might include nominating a board and a set of directors. While these principles are a great starting point, every business is unique, and your company's principles may differ from what's been mentioned. So why not start with the principle of making decisions out in the open and brainstorm your business's principles by involving the whole team from the outset. When executed correctly, your business's principles will undoubtedly set the tone for your company's culture. Having a solid set of principles that you can continually refer back to is an important asset for creating a sustainable business model. For more information, visit our website to learn how a strong team will make implementing your business principles easy. Thanks for watching.
If you'd like to see more of our training sessions, you can find them on our website, along with shorter downloadable information from our shows. Right now, we learn more about the power of networking in the startup world. Abu from the Venture Network believes that if an entrepreneur surrounds himself with a team, it can make the world of difference. Here is the big interview. In studio, I have an entrepreneur from the Venture Network. His name is Abu, and he'll be sharing all his knowledge with us that he has on entrepreneurship. Welcome to the show, Abu.
Thank you, Puna.
Abu, you create a space for entrepreneurial networks. What exactly are entrepreneurial networks?
So an entrepreneurial network is a network of entrepreneurs and everyone around them. So you've got entrepreneurs themselves, you've got venture capitalists, you've got angel investors, you've got accelerators, incubators, and co-working spaces. Anyone that contributes towards a business being built.
And within these networks, you have different types of startups, I'm guessing. And how do you get people who are on a lower level and a higher level to work together?
Yeah, there are all sorts. So there's startups across various sectors, there's startups at different stages of their lives. And effectively what you've got to try and do is matchmake certain startups to help facilitate their development. There are startups that are established companies that are now working with new companies to try and help their development. It's just a case of what expertise do you have, what expertise do I have, what networks do I have, where can we share, where can we collaborate. I think there's a lot of collaboration that happens within the entrepreneurship space.
And do you facilitate investment for these startups?
Correct. Venture Network is a pitch night which we host every second or third month. And at that pitch night, there'll be companies that will be pitching their solutions, companies that will be demoing their solution, and then there will be investors in the room. And over the last year, we've facilitated 5 different investments into startups. And it's just a case of investors identifying the startups that most appeal to them and having a conversation that may then potentially lead to either a partnership or them putting them in touch with someone who can assist them.
Sure. And obviously an investor would want to invest in something worthwhile. So what do these investors look for?
Each investor has his or her own unique investment criteria, but typically investors do look for a strong team. They prefer teams of people rather than a solo entrepreneur. They're looking for a big market, so they're looking for solutions that are scalable. And by scalable, I mean companies that can benefit from economies of scale, so grow into the whole of South Africa, grow across the whole of Africa, and potentially the world. And then lastly, they're looking for proof of concept. So companies that have got money that they've earned, customers on their books, proof that the concept that they are offering is something that the market is looking for.
And clearly from what you're saying, the emphasis is on teamwork, working together, network, lots of different elements coming together. What have you seen has been the benefit of that, apart from working alone, for instance?
My first company I ran a company by myself, and it didn't do as well as I hoped it would, unfortunately. The second company I've started, I've built quite a strong team around me. And one of the big benefits is just having people around you to motivate you in those times where things are tough, to get you through the dark days. And another benefit would be a sparring partner, someone to bounce things off, a sounding board, if you like. It's always beneficial from just an interpersonal perspective to have someone alongside you. And then from a technical perspective, you'd ideally like to have someone with technical skills that are complementary to your own technical skills. A salesman with an IT developer, for example, works quite nicely.
That was Abu from the Venture Network speaking to us about entrepreneurial tips and tricks here on The Big Interview. Every week, we feature a new entrepreneur on The Big Interview, and they all come from different backgrounds. Some started small and slow, others started with a bang, but they all have a story to share. So be sure to tune in every week. The ever-faithful Nolo is here to tell us what's happening in the city of Joburg in the world of entrepreneurship. So next, we have the news.
Making headlines this week. The Standard Bank Incubator launches Igniter program, Hack Josie announces winner, and Schwab Social Entrepreneur of the Year announced. Hello, I'm Nolo with this week's Green City Startup News. The Standard Bank Incubator has launched the Igniter Startup Initiative. This 3-month program aims to train entrepreneurs in the lean startup model and help build their respective enterprises. The program has a strong mentorship focus, and all 17 enterprises are evaluated bi-weekly. Successful enterprises will benefit from the incubator's support. Staying in the city, the Hack Josie competition has finally come to a conclusion. The initiative, which promotes digitally based solutions for the city's community, was won by Newa Hutiri, the founder of Technovera, a tech company which makes smart lockers used as dispensers for chronic medication. The winner took home 1 million rands, while second and third place startups, Tutimi and eSubmit, both took home 350,000 rands respectively. And in our last story, the 12 Schwab Social Entrepreneur of the Year winners were announced. Amongst the winners were 2 South Africans, Luvuyo Rani, the founder of Sululo Oluto Internet Cafe, and Tracy Gilmore, the COO of the Clothing Bank. These businesses have both had a significant impact in their respective communities. Congratulations. That's the news for this week. Remember to keep in touch with us through our social media pages or email us your green news on info@greensitystartup.co.za. From the news team, goodbye.
Next week, you don't want to miss out as we continue to track the progress of our contestants. We learn about the revolutionary concept of mini malls that's rejuvenating the city of Joburg. And of course, we rub shoulders with another expert on The Big Interview. Don't forget to connect with us on social media. That's all from the GCS team and me, Puna Silisho. See you next week. Cheerio.